Hey everyone, it's Brian with GreyWolf Towers again. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I don't often do these. This was a part... I don't often do these. This was a parts hunt. I do the parts hunting, but I don't often make videos about it, is what I'm saying. So, if you watched the last video that I posted, or at least what should have been, it was the B550 motherboard. And I bought that about a week and a half ago. And it was bought for my wife's computer. She's been running a 3800X Ryzen 7. And I figured it should have something better than a B350 motherboard, and I don't like going with the B350s, X470s, or B450s with the 3000 series. Even though a lot of people do recommend them, you do still lose out on some features. So I bought the B550 for my wife's 3800X. And I was going to put that in over the weekend, but Friday I got Friday night, right before Saturday when I was going to put the motherboard in and do the swap, I saw a post on Letgo, and I reached out and we started talking. Couldn't talk him down from the $125 that he was asking, but I was able to get it for $125, which I will explain why that's actually a really good deal. So what I got for $125 is I got the two cables unopened. So I've got two SATA cables. I have the quick guide for the memory modules, and it looks like a quick start guide on the BIOS controls and things like that. So that's really good. Software setup guide, there you go. Helps to read sometimes. And then I got the manual itself. This says quick installation guide. However, this is thicker than any quick installation guide I've ever seen with a motherboard. And that includes the X58 motherboard that I just did a build on. That thing had a pretty hefty book, and I'm pretty sure it was smaller than this one. So now, a moment of truth. This is the ASRock X570 Extreme 4 motherboard. Ha, nice, huh? Well, ASRock, I am very disappointed right off the bat. Now, I will go over the negatives at the end so you see the positives first. So now, so we'll go over the positives first. So the positives are there's two M.2 sockets here. That's really good because it gives you cooling from the X570's chipset over both of the M.2s. And then it also has an M.2 Wi-Fi adapter here. And the M.2s will not be visible. The downside is that the M.2 Wi-Fi will be visible if it's not covered by a graphics card. I'm pretty sure that her graphics card will cover it though. Looks like it has two USB 3.0 front panel ports. Looks like it's got two front panel USB 2s, and then it has the 3.2, which is the USB-C style. Uses a socket rather than the standard pins. It has the audio up here. Looks like a case fan header here, and a case fan header here, and another one here. So you've got three fan headers that it looks like are for the case fans. And then it's got the CPU case fan, CPU fan 1 and 2, so you've got two CPU fans. See, fan LED here, so that's most likely going to be for the CPU fan. And let's see, what else do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, so 8 ports for SATA. Your 20+4 pin, 4 DIMM slots. The battery is still relatively easy to get to over here. So if you have to change your CMOS battery for some reason, it has a 4+4 pin plus an additional 4 pin, so 8 pin plus 4 pin for the power to the CPU. So this should be pretty decent at overclocking. Not necessarily the absolute best, because I've seen several that have have the 4+4 8 pin, plus they'll have another 8 pin or 4+4 pin for the overclocking capabilities. But I don't expect to overclock her CPU because regardless of what people think, overclocking of the 3rd gen or 3000 series is not the best idea. It will usually, if you keep it cool, it will usually get a much better performance than overclocking will give it. So now on the rear, it has an included I/O shield. It's got the 7.1 sound. It has 2, 4, 6, 7 USB, including one USB 3.2. All the rest are USB 3s from the looks of it. So no USB 2.0s on the rear. It does have a USB-C connection back here, which is really nice because I actually had bought her a cable to use for that. That was two USB-C ends so that she could use her phone with her computer really easily, and ended up that the motherboard didn't end up having one as I thought it did. It does have Ethernet, which should be the 10, 100, 1000 connection. It has an HDMI out, which won't really apply because hers is a Ryzen 7 3800X, no built-in graphics. And then it has a dual-purpose keyboard mouse, single port for the PS2 style. And then it has the markings and the openings for Wi-Fi. However, there's no Wi-Fi built in, which is kind of disappointing, ASRock. I mean, it would have been what, an extra 10 cents, 50 cents, maybe $1 in parts for you, and it would have been a feature that really would have struck home for us as the consumers. So, out of a 5-star rating, I'd give it about a 3.5 to 4 because that really is disappointing, because looking at it and seeing those Wi-Fi holes and writing on it made me believe that it was going to have Wi-Fi built in, and that's one of the main reasons that I was so looking forward to this for my wife. So instead I'm now going to have to find an adapter, which I probably have one laying around, and then I'm going to have to put that in, and she's going to end up with whatever provided capabilities that gives. So again, overall, I'm disappointed in that function. I'm going to give you no better than a 4-star rating on this motherboard because of that fact. Now the real thing though will be whether or not I can use this motherboard, because the guy that sold it told me that it was an RMA sent back to him fixed. Well, the problem is that if you look at the holes for the different stuff, right here is a case standoff with a screw stuck in it, which means that this motherboard has been used, and he told me that he had purchased this, sent in the one that he purchased, was waiting around so long that he decided to get a different motherboard, went and bought another motherboard, and then this one came back, and since he didn't need two, he just went ahead and sold this one for just under half price. So I'm going to have to see if this actually even works, but aside from that, so assuming that it works, it was a fabulous deal. So anyway, that is today's video. The short of it is it's a wonderful looking board. It should perform very well, should do everything that a person needs in the normal stuff. And the only disappointing fact that I see in it is simply that it doesn't have the Wi-Fi that it appears to have when it's being advertised. So aside from that, it looks perfectly great. So hopefully it'll run great. So thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day. Bye for now.